Welcome aboard, everyone. Nothing formally scheduled like usual. I do want to turn this into a more structured event, but I think there's a lot of problems with structure too. When things become overly structured, it's often easy to say, well, I do that, but it's too complicated. One of the things that I've done with this live show that I hope y'all will enjoy, and I'm going to get a lot more, I'm going to have a lot more live shows here, super soon, is the ability to just turn on and go. If you've ever looked for a rental property, if you've ever looked to purchase anything, and, that commonly overused term, turnkey, people want turnkey. It's not necessarily that they want something that the thing that people want is something you just step inside and it's ready to go. You go to a golf course, you don't want to have to get out and unpack all your clubs and unpack all your golf balls and unpack all your tees. You just want to grab your golf bag with everything already in it, strap it to the back of the cart, and go. You want something turnkey. So for that reason, with my channel, I've updated my studio, IrixGuy's Adventure Channel Studio, where you're watching this, where I'm broadcasting live from, to be able to just turnkey. All I do is go in, I power on my chroma key device, and I select my backdrop, and I'm good to go. So, this is the format that I've been working towards. Again, independent YouTube channel, super low budget. It's your support and your viewership that enables me to continue to grow. So, feel free to super chat during this live show. Feel free to support me on Patreon. You don't have to do anything. That's appreciated if you choose to do it. But, most importantly, subscribe and share with others. Because, without your viewership, this channel would not be able to continue to grow. So, evening, we got Jake here. Oh, by the way, everyone, Jake has a new YouTube channel. So if you haven't subscribed to Jake, you've watched some of the previous live shows. This guy is an expert, and he's actually the guy that turned me on to Terry Pepper's Foghorn. So if you haven't seen the Terry Pepper's Foghorn video, you need to check it out. You also need to subscribe to Jake Eves. He's got super good content. Jake, is Maya, McKenna, and Katie, are they there tonight, or is it just Jake? Always good to have Jake on board. He brings a life to the live shows. So, yeah, a bunch of stuff going on with YouTube. YouTube is a constantly evolving beast, and I love it. And it's one of those things where, coming out of 2020, which we've all done, 2021 is a different cat. 2021 is, people want to do stuff, but they're still kind of afraid because everything that went on, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Bottom line is this, is that I am happy that 2021 created the work environment that it did, because what it did, it enabled me to further improve my studio where I'm filming this, IrixGuy's Adventure Channel Studio. I'm hoping that you'll find the video quality and the audio quality to be exceptional. Again, I am an independent YouTube channel. There's no big marketing budget, anything like that. So it's super duper cool to be able to broadcast from the studio that I invested resources that would otherwise have gone to travel and this, that, and the other during 2020. I invested in the studio to further grow and further enhance the quality of the IrixGuy's Adventure Channel's brand. Brad, hey, Brad, welcome aboard. Welcome aboard, sir. You got any new drones? You still flying the DJI FPV? What's new for Brad? Tell us here on the channel. Jake says, it's all the same, just no vids yet. Mostly trains, cars, trucks, business, aircraft, weapons, and of course drones. Jake says, and yes, my sisters and girlfriend are with me tonight as I'm on holidays for a bit. Hey, congratulations, man. Always good to have downtime, enjoy those holidays. Nothing wrong with that at all, man. I mean, that's super important because, the problem, and this is something I see with a lot of my businesses, the problem, and the cats. You got the cats. You got to have the cats, man. That makes it perfect. But the problem I see with a lot of businesses is, it's burnout. I mean, people become so. Brad says I got the Air 2S. Yeah, man, Air 2S is the best. That's the best drone on the market today, in my opinion, because you get spot on autofocus, you get great battery life. It's a super reliable drone. I mean, it definitely is. Had it since it came out, yeah, no doubt. Are you still flying the DJI FPV, or was that kind of a fad, flying the first person view? I know you got the DJI FPV, but yeah, burnout is one of those things that affects a lot of people. And I mean, the thing that I encourage everyone to do is, keep stuff fresh, not just the content that you're creating, but the delivery, keep things fresh, keep yourself entertained and motivated. And motivation is a core component for success. So, it doesn't matter how many ideas one may have, if they can't keep themselves motivated, there's a problem called burnout that can come into play, and I hope nobody encounters burnout. Brad says, Jake says, but in first response fire department included, it's short-lived. Brad says, yes, I still have it. Don't fly as much, just not enough, not enough tent. I think he might have meant time. Probably a typo. Yeah, that's kind of what I figured. I felt that the DJI FPV would kind of be a fad, and it's like, yeah, I've been there, done that. And then it's like you want to get back to the drone that captures the outstanding 4K video quality and the outstanding photos. So that makes sense. Jake says, and also I do boat and ship vids too, including car ferries. Jake, I remember your car ferry video, and actually on a previous IrixGuy's Adventure Channel live show, we were able to look at that car barge. I mean, that car barge was enormous. The most fascinating car barge I've ever seen. I mean, it was huge, man. It was huge. Huge. And then Brad says time. Yep. So I was right when I was talking about Brad said tent. I said, did you mean time? And he said, yeah, he meant time. Yeah, time is critical. And, one of the things that I encourage every entrepreneur to strive for is maximizing time. And what do I mean by that comment? How does one maximize time? Well, what they do is they create what I refer to as enablers. An enabler is simply, and it doesn't have to be money per se, but an enabler is something that one chooses to invest their time into something with the goal, the desired outcome being more free time. So, if whether you're doing penny stocks, whether you're doing, maybe you got a lawn care business, maybe you're pressure washing driveways, maybe you're really smart and you're doing some sort of cryptocurrency or something like that. Whatever your vehicle for success may be, if you can say, okay, I do this, and it's not that great, maybe you do enjoy it, maybe you don't. Convince yourself you enjoy it, because the outcome is what you desire. You want to create more free time for yourself. So if this, then that being more free time, there's a lot of enablers out there, regardless of, what your personality type may be, regardless of what your skill sets may be. If you sit down and you think about it and say, okay, well, how can I time, there's an old phrase, it's called time. There's an old phrase, you've probably heard it, time is money. And time is money, because time spent you know, fiddling with a remote control watching TV is not time well spent. Granted, it is important to enjoy a little bit of TV, to relax, this, that, and the other. I think that's important. You know, business and personal balance. You know, one needs to free their mind of work-related tasks, this, that, and the other. But if you look in the mirror and you say, okay, well, what can I do to create freedom? You know, don't look in the mirror and say, what can I do to become filthy rich? That's the wrong way to do it. Look in the mirror and say, what can I do to create freedom? Look at yourself, look in the mirror, say, okay, I'm proficient at this, I'm proficient at that. You know, there's room for growth in this area. Chart all that out and say, okay, these are the areas where I can provide value for the world. And then take that and decide, okay, well, how could I monetize this, and that? You know, what's the business venture that I could create myself? Again, don't go to work for someone else. They're going to run away with all the loot. You know, what can you do for yourself based upon your skill sets? What can you do for yourself based upon your skill sets to create that financial freedom? I mean, there's no right or wrong answer, because what you're proficient at, I'm not necessarily proficient with. So, you know, just say, oh, go out and trade stocks, or go out and mow grass, or, you know, go out and create a new item and get a trademark and sell it to the highest bidder. There's so many different ways to do it. Jake says, the MV Wolf Islander 3 out of Kingston, Ontario, Canada, length 120 meters and width 30 meters. This ferry and its smaller counterparts, the Frontenac, 2, the Glenora and Quinte Loyalist, and the Simcoe Islander. Jake says the Simcoe Islander is a small 2-car cable ferry. I will also feature both cable ferries from Howe Island 2. Very cool. So I'm saying, man, it's all about the content. You know, are you video and photo in ferries, car barges? Are you going out, you got some sort of new business strategy and you're trying to educate the world as to how to perform those tasks? There's so many ways to do this. And it's one of those things, if you're indoctrinated, I'm not going to say mainstream media, but, you know, whatever may indoctrinate you to think that, you know, you can't achieve greatness, question that. You know, go out and say, you know, here's the problem that plagues society. It's laziness. People, for the most part, are lazy. And people that could do something great, they choose not to, because they just choose to, you know, get by and this, that, and the other. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, if people just want to get by and they have no motivations whatsoever to exceed, that's fine. If they can get by and they can do what they want to do and just be lazy, that's fine. I'm a hustler, and I will do whatever I can within my power to create freedom. Notice I did not say create a dollar, because people that chase the dollar are people that are chasing the wrong thing. Chasing freedom is something that's important, because if one chooses to chase freedom, that may involve dollars, that may involve a lot of things, but people that choose to chase freedom are after the end game of just doing whatever they want. If you think about it, day to day, and this is applicable probably to most anyone that's watching this, and if it's not applicable to you, pat on the back, congratulations, because you've made it. Most people are concerned with, okay, well, I got to do this, you know, whatever the task may be, whatever the job may be, blah, 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 whatever the job may be, to go out and, you know, make ends meet, you know, pay the bills, basically live paycheck to paycheck, month to month. That may be perfectly acceptable for some people, which is fine. You know, you be you. Do what you want to do. But the thing is, if one wants freedom, freedom is something. Oh, we got a comment from Jake. Jake says, and when they arrive, I will include a special of the new Wolf Islander 4 and Amherst Island ferry. When Simcoe Island gets his new ferry, I will special footage of it. Woohoo! That's awesome. It's like Jake. Jake is out there. He is after the car barges. He is after the car ferries. You know, he's got some content that other people can't capture and create. He's got something special. And that's what I like. You know, finding that niche and aggressively pursuing it, because it's one of those things. I mean, it's, you know, time is a limited resource. You know, it's not an infinite resource. You know, time, there's a beginning and there's an end. And it's how one chooses to maximize that time that can create a happier existence. So my definition of happiness is not, it's not a dollar. It's never been a dollar. It's never been, you know, linked to any sort of financial number. My definition of happiness is freedom. When I go out and when I hustle, when I create a new company, when I incubate an existing company, I'm doing it because I want to create freedom. That freedom being the opportunity to do whatever and never have to say, okay, well, I would do that, but, you know, to eliminate all the buts out of comments, you know, to be able to go out and say, okay, freedom is my goal. How am I going to achieve freedom? Do it. I don't want to say it's financial freedom. Finance is the financial component is a big component. Bottom line is that if you set your mind on something and you know yourself and you figure out those vehicles for success, it's easy. It's not easy. It's easy to figure out a plan to make it happen. And only you can put together that plan. And that's what I've been working on. You know, I love my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is just one of my multiple concurrent business ventures. This channel you're watching right now, I have a good time. I hope y'all enjoy it. I know I enjoy y'all's comments. I enjoy your super chats. I enjoy your sharing with others. This channel is not where it should be. This channel is not even at 100,000 subscribers yet. I think right now it's around 83,000, which is not a big number. But, you know, it's like anything else. Choose to invest your time how you feel that it best fits your life. And for me, my thing is that, you know, I want to invest enough time to where I can create freedom. You know, selling throughout the Caribbean, it's not cheap. You got to get food. You got to have a boat. You got to do this, that, and the other. It is not a cheap lifestyle, but it's a rewarding lifestyle, in my opinion, from the perspective that I'm able to see things. I'm able to meet people. I'm able to eat great cuisine. I'm able to do things that if I just said, okay, you know, I got my college degree and I'm going to do this, that, and the other, there's a lot of people that do that and they're fine and they're happy. But what they don't realize is that they could really be free and extremely happy if they didn't just follow that ingrained existence. You know, there's a lot more to life than just working a job and climbing the ladder. I mean, people at the top of the corporate ladder, those people often aren't happy. You know, how can one create a greater freedom? And and a lot of this is linked to the dollar, but it's just creating enough to just being able to, being able to do it. Not just do it. It's not like, okay, well, I'm going to take one trip to here, there, and the other. It's being able to accomplish that, and then just do it infinitely. And that's what I encourage here on IrixGuy's Adventure Channel is, know yourself, know your abilities, and figure out, based upon your abilities and your goals, what can you do? What is that niche area? That area that exists, but it's not super penetrated by competitors. What is that niche market that you can choose to penetrate and just really destroy? Not destroy is kind of a bad word. That implies negativity. What is that niche market that you can penetrate and aggressively grow? That would be a better way to say it. And see, that's the thing that's so funny. That's the thing one of the things that's so funny about business. It's all about how one says it. Those comments that I just made, one was perceived as negative and aggressive. The other was probably perceived as optimistic. So, on this channel, I'm just trying to share with y'all as much as I can the thought processes that have enabled me to become moderately successful. I don't consider myself to be successful yet because I haven't done everything I need to do. But I have conditioned myself to think, to grow, and to groom. To think, to grow, and to groom. So, those are important elements. And I encourage everyone, just to, you're watching this live show, I encourage everyone to just feel motivated and, never feel down on yourself. Everybody makes a bad move. Everybody. But it's those bad career moves that people make that enable someone to grow. And it's, every perceived failure is an opportunity to learn and to grow more rapidly during the next phase. And that's the way it's been with all my business ventures. I've had ventures that have flourished. I've had ventures that have floundered. I've had some, it's like, okay, well, I activated this today and it's like chirp, chirp, what's going on? There's all different degrees of success. And some of that success could be perceived as a failure. But again, in reality, that failure is actually a positive thing because it taught a lesson. And that lesson learned is something that can be applied to the future growth of either that venture or a completely different venture. And, it's something that, never say you can't, or never accept moderate success. Use those lessons learned, apply them, and create something just extraordinary. And that's my goal. I haven't done it yet. And again, it's disappointing to not be where I felt that I should be at this point, but I know I've got it. And I know that a couple of the ventures I'm working on right now are going to go to the moon and beyond. Not literally to the moon, but it's at least a reassuring feeling. And one of the things that's most fun is this channel, IrixGuy's Adventure Channel. This is a way to relax. It always has been. It always will be. Hopefully there's a lot of educational, entertaining, and, other type of content on here. It's all clean, no profanity. That's the way it's always going to be. But, YouTube is one of those things that a lot of people didn't even know existed. But the people that do are like, wow, that's an opportunity. YouTube is an opportunity. And it's this live stream in my studio. Again, independent YouTube channel. I've thrown a ton of cash into this channel. And I appreciate your viewership, your super chats, your subscriptions, sharing with others. Because again, this is an independent channel. I'm not part of a multi-channel network, so there's none of the big marketing budget here. What you see is what you get. And I've been inspired. And I've had an awakening. And there's some content coming to this channel. I think this channel, never second guess yourself. Be a realist. Don't be cocky. Don't become cocky. But know your ability to analyze and know what the metrics suggest and chase after it. And that's what I'm chasing after right now. So I just want to do a quick live show. I appreciate all of y'all. It's great seeing all of y'all tuned in here. And, just keeping it real like I always do, man. I got a grill going. I got some hot dogs. I got to go eat some hot dogs. Keep it simple. Don't overextend yourself from a business perspective. Always remember success or failure. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. There's nothing wrong with eating hot dogs. There's nothing wrong with, having a simple meal. And Ahmed says, kindly post some videos, POV, about your Audi. Ahmed says, really love it. That Audi car review later, I have it. Yeah, Ahmed, I've got a few Audi videos. Check out my car videos playlist, and you can find those videos there. And I will say, I've really enjoyed Audi. Audi's a great brand. I like the cars, great gas mileage, affordable to maintain. And my particular Audi, I don't have any of the run flat tires. You deal with BMW, you get those run flats. They're expensive to replace. They ride noisy, and I hate run flats. That's personal preference. But, yeah, I think Steve Jobs, Loudmouth Tim was harping on you for drinking Natty Light, instructing you not to finish your beer. Sometimes it fits the bill. Hey, man, nothing wrong with Natty Light. It's cheap. I mean, it's one of those things. I mean, you just gotta do what you want to do, and there is no official playbook for success. You choose to create that playbook if you choose to do it. And I haven't written the book yet, and I'm not there yet, but I'm getting there, and that's all that matters in my book. In my head, where I'm going is what matters. And it's this world can be complicated if one chooses to make it complicated. This world can be less complicated if one chooses to create, incubate, and then grow multiple concurrent business ventures. It really is. Steve Jobs says, doctor told me my only German organic beer, no weed killer in it. Ahmed says, my wife, she wanted to have changed S85. What do you suggest on it? I prefer if you come up on Cars Review. I will really have strong feel you are good in reviews. I will watch it on a daily basis. Steve Jobs says, reminds me of college. College was fun, man. What I learned in college was how to drink. That's pretty much what I learned in college, is how to drink. Actually, no, it was how to drink. It was how to date multiple women at the same time, and how to just socialize in general. Because the thing is, if you're kind of computer nerdy when you're growing up, you're kind of like into computers, and you learn a lot about technology, this, that, and the other. The side effect of that is that one often gimps themselves within the social realm. And social interactions are as important, if not more important, than technical knowledge. Because you could have, there could be the smartest person in the room, but they didn't have the social skills necessary to convey their opinions effectively. Regardless of, a scale of 1 to 100, if it was 100 out of quality or a 2 out of quality, if they can't convey their knowledge with others, convey their knowledge to others rather, they're useless. So, college, to your point, Steve, college to me was a huge turning point. And college to me was great. Had a good time. I learned a lot. As soon as college concluded, I created multiple companies, and that's what I've done. I've enjoyed it. But I do think that college is important, and one of the things is in today's society, a lot of people are saying, don't spend the money on college. Go to trade school and this, that, and trade school and all that. That's great. We need a bunch of skilled workers, but I think even someone that knows that they're going to create their own company or companies, someone that may know that confidently, I think there's still the need, even if it's not a 4-year, stay. I think there's still the need for at least 1 or 2 years in college just to get out and, get to see that time in life. I think it was, life memories and, best friends and that's one of the things. I mean, my best friends today that I can count on 2 hands. I mean, my best friends today are friends from college, and they always will be. Whether I see them every few months, whether I see them every few years, they will always be my best friends. And I mean, that's the value add beyond education on paper and tests and numbers and this, that, and the other. That's the value add beyond a grade on an exam that college adds, in my opinion. So I think, Steve, yeah, college is great, man. So with that being said, I keep things real on this channel. I got to eat my hot dogs. I keep it simple. Got to eat my hot dogs. And we will have another live show soon. I appreciate everyone tuning in. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. It's youtube.com/IrixGuy. And ring that bell icon when you do, and that'll notify you whenever I post another video. Thanks for your viewership, and y'all have a good day.